On October 16, 1930, 3-year-old Lawrence Sullivan was with his uncle John on a trip for his uncle to examine a potential prospecting site in Jefferson Canyon of Nevada State. John was a gold miner and the inspection area was at 7,600 foot elevation where the road stopped. John parked the car and told Lawrence to stay inside. He climbed a small hill and examined the site. From top of the hill he could see his car and Lawrence. John waved at Lawrence and then went to the other side of the hill. John was away for a short while inspecting the spot. When he went back to his car, Lawrence wasn't inside. John looked for the boy in the immediate area. There wasn't many large trees around, but he couldn't see his nephew. John drove to the city to bring more assistance. Reminding you, Lawrence knew where his uncle was and knew which direction to walk towards. The area Lawrence disappeared is very rugged and has very steep mountains. Searchers came to the area and at the beginning they were looking up the valley and downhill. One of the searchers took a different path than others and was looking up a northern valley when he found Lawrence's cap. The cap was found uphill from the vehicle. The search group was reorganized around the finding and they continued yelling Lawrence's name without any response. Bloodhound dogs were brought into the scene and they tracked the boy's scent up to a canyon and suddenly stopped. There was some speculation in the community that an eagle took the boy. Oscar Mike was an Indian tracker who came to help with the incident. Oscar picked up a trail where all other searchers said it had been lost. They kept going up on an extreme steep cliffs which they had to use ropes for safety. There was also some speculation a mountain lion might have snatched the 3-year-old boy. The Indian tracker was sure Lawrence passed that spot which seemed impossible to reach even as an adult with equipment. They kept pushing forward and after some time they finally found Lawrence alive after 5 days of being lost. He was curled up and asleep when they found him. Searchers stated any sudden move by Lawrence could have broken his neck. He had torn clothing, scraped knees and scratches all over his body. He was taken to a hospital where he fully recovered. It was strange to searchers how Lawrence could survive the cold nights of the mountain which at times reached to 0. The elevation they found the boy was at 9,000 feet. It's absurd to assume Lawrence reached the spot they found him by himself. Canine dogs gave up on the trek as soon as it started to get difficult. Lawrence had walked 7 miles and went uphill 1,400 feet to reach the location they found him. There is no information about what happened during Lawrence's disappearance and we will never know. On October 24, 1936, 9-year-old Murray Miller was with his stepfather and brother in Sapphire Mountains cutting firewood. During the work, Mr. Miller asked Murray and his brother to go and bring water. The two boys walked to the creek. Murray filled up the pail and started to walk back with his brother. The boys traveled a short distance, then suddenly Murray spilled the water and had to go back to fill it again. This time he walked back alone, but he never returned. The father and son started looking for Murray, but they were unsuccessful. At that time, Mr. Miller notified the authorities and 500 searchers, which there was 125 soldiers among them, came to help with the search. They kept firing up bonfires during the night in hope of attracting the 9-year-old, but they were unsuccessful. 4 days of intense search amounted to nothing. On the 5th day, two United States employees were on an assignment close to a creek not far from the lookout tower when they noticed the boy cross the creek. They shouted at him, but the boy didn't hear him at first. After a while, the boy noticed them and waved at them. The two employees crossed the creek and realized they had just found the 9-year-old Murray Miller. These two employees weren't searching for Murray. They found the boy totally by chance. Murray explained what happened during his disappearance. He said the second time he was bringing water, he couldn't tell where he was. He said he was coming back from the creek when suddenly the location seemed unknown to him. He said he kept walking and was lost. He couldn't remember anything else. When he was found, Murray was extremely tired and he was semi-conscious. He had to walk 15 miles from the creek he was bringing water from to reach the location they found him. The mountain range he was lost is considered the roughest part of the West. They found him close to the fire tower, which means he was close to the summit of one of the tallest mountains in the area. The official story says he walked for 15 miles for 5 days and then decided to climb up a mountain. There is no information about what Murray was wearing when he disappeared or when he was found. Around the city of Witso, Utah, there are still ranchers and farmers, although the city itself is a ghost town. On July 4th, 1956, the Young family were meeting up with family and friends for a 4th of July barbecue. This area has mountains and large fields of tall alfalfa. There is no traffic in this area and only a few residents in the 20-mile radius were living there. The Youngs had a 15-month-old daughter named Willette. She was with the family during the trip. There were other children on the campsite as well. In the afternoon, the Youngs realized they couldn't find Willette and started to search. Searchers found her teddy bear close to the barbecue, which was also the last location she was seen before going missing. A cousin of Willette stated he had seen her going up the hill and he believed she wouldn't come back. The search started only 10 minutes after the girl was last seen. It was unclear why he said she would not come back. An irrigation canal which was running through the area was drained without finding the girl. 2 bloodhound dogs were brought into the scene and both tracked the scent from the ranch to a rural road and then stopped. Law enforcement cut the alfalfa field in hope of finding the girl, but after several flyovers by aircraft, they found nothing. After 10 days of intense search, the county sheriff stated he believed the girl wasn't in this area and terminated the search. Remember, the family started searching for the girl just 10 minutes after they last seen her. How far a 15-month-old could go in 10 minutes? Also, this area is very rural and there is no traffic. There was only few ranchers who lived apart from each other. Willette Karen Young was never found.